or the puppeteer Jen.
Yes, and it's Jean, but everyone calls me Jeannie.
Sorry.
So no, that's
Um,
fine.
so could you explain to everyone how who you are and what you do as a
Yes,
puppeteer?
absolutely, absolutely. So I love to make things come alive, and I think myself and I think a lot of puppeteers are like this. It's really beautiful to create a story and then you have at your disposal to create lots of different characters, the set, everything when you are a puppeteer. So that is my role as a puppeteer. I have worked as a puppeteer for other people's shows and productions, but primarily I create children's programming. That's what I do. I write and I direct and I create educational and entertaining children's programming. I have, yeah, I've won a national award for children's entertainment. I'm just trying to spout stuff out. I've created Stories Alive, which is a nonprofit that's run for 13 years. We take the stories that children write. So we teach children how to write stories, and then we transform their stories into productions. So I hire professional actors,
Mhm.
musicians, puppeteers, animators, and we elevate their writing and turn it into a production. And it used to be all live, but now we have this great opportunity to put it all on the web. So it's really fun to work with people, even just across the country, and making stories come alive.
Oh, really? Do you go across the country, or do you like travel from coast to coast, or do you like virtually do it?
It's virtual right now, which is
Okay.
awesome. So yeah, we used to just go into schools, kind of take over the school. There's this thing called the story machine, and children were taught how to write narrative stories, and then they would fill up this machine. And then
Mhm.
I would take everything that's in the story machine, all the stories, hundreds of stories at every school, and then take them to the artistry of professional actors, musicians, you name it, costume designers, all these different artists. We work together collaboratively and turn the children's stories into production, a live production. But now it's been all on the internet. So that way I get to work with different people from near and far. I had somebody from in Russia, a beautiful little town in Russia, who just made this incredible shadow puppet theater. So I've been building shadow film using their tools and working with them a little bit. So I love it. Actually, it's been the silver lining I think of the pandemic is just how to stretch our minds and how to work creatively with people all across the globe.
Yeah, so I am a ventriloquist myself, or I'm not a puppeteer, but I'm a ventriloquist. I didn't know if those were the two different things. I didn't know they were different. So
Yeah. Did you want me to show Corey and I were talking about the difference between ventriloquist
yeah, I
and
didn't know if I had no idea, and I'm so sorry for the
no, it's cool.
for the it really, I'm not gonna lie, pardon my cussing, but it really pissed me off that when I was checking audio they couldn't hear it.
Well, we could do it again. I could show you all the or it doesn't matter. The difference between puppeteering and ventriloquism. I mean, just in a nutshell, like if you're a puppeteer and this is a puppet just made out of scraps of fur. Maurice, he's a little messy. He could use a brush out. I'm all right. Oh, okay. So the difference between puppeteers and ventriloquists like you is that in order for Maurice to talk, I have to open my mouth because if I don't, then he can't talk. Do you want to try? Yeah. All right, go ahead. See, it doesn't work. Oh man. See? So that's the difference. It's really cool to be a ventriloquist. I've never felt like I've needed that, but I think it's really neat to, for those people that perform in those kind of venues where you want to talk to a puppet and you want to make the puppet seem more alive without the audience seeing your mouth move.
Yeah, I
So
can't do that either.
you can't make your mouth, you can't talk with your mouth closed. You can't do that.
I tried.
Yeah.
So
It's
maybe
a really cool thing. I know. There's so many things. I tried juggling. I cannot do it. I can ride a unicycle though. Go figure. Everybody's got their skills, right?
Yeah, so I started ventriloquism when the pandemic happened.
Oh, okay. Or puppeteering, right?
Yeah, puppeteering, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When I call it ventriloquism because I love Jeff Dunham. Jeff
Oh,
Dunham
yeah.
is such a cool actor, and or not a cool actor, he's a great ventriloquist, and I
Mm-hmm.
just thought to myself, I want to be, with the pandemic going on, I mean, I lost my job like half a year before the pandemic happened. And when the pandemic happened, or wait, when I lost my job, I lost it because a case opened up, and then people started quitting, and it got toxic socializing. So I tried, I guess you could say, three job opportunities, and they didn't work for me. So since I'm a YouTuber and I have nothing else better to do during a pandemic, why not
Yeah.
socialize? Cope with social distancing when no one in your family or friends. I always talk about this. Um, just have a mutual conversation. Why not have something to talk to? And that was puppeteer. That was ventriloquism. So
Absolutely. So it could be a car. It could be there's so many different kinds of puppeteering. Like I think my favorite is shadow puppets because I used to be a professional dancer, and I think you can move them through very cinematically and almost like use choreography. So I love shadow puppets. But there's also the um, oh my goodness, it's I'm lost the word for it, but you can take just toys, and move those and move small parts and pieces. It just there's so many different kinds of puppetry. Really, it's just anything inanimate you make come alive. And I have just magically made Corey disappear. Oh, poof! All right, so now you also know I'm a magician. You're back, Corey. Who is that?
yeah, you said inanimate toys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I use
There
this
you
guy as
go.
a ventriloquist doll.
Yeah, and technically, if you animate it, like if you use stop motion, it's not really puppeteering, but it's so close. Like I puppet animation.
You ever heard of iCarly? And yeah, I love iCarly. It's supposed to come back. Um, I don't know how I feel about it. Dan Schneider got in big Me Too movement issued,
Okay.
and one of the actors from the iCarly show, the Jeanette McCurdy, was one of the women, and so me hearing that iCarly's coming back from a guy who wanna watch it.
Right. Happening in backstage, back scenes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why Jeanette McCurdy's not one of the reasons is why Jeanette McCurdy isn't coming back.
Got
Um,
it.
so out of that other equation, so how have you coped with the social distancing and with the COVID pandemic?
I mean,
Um,
really, like I've had a lot of heartache for a lot of other people during the pandemic, and actually, I had COVID and it affected me for 2 months.
me
It was
too.
You did. So that was hard. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. And I was super safe. I mean, we're talking about just going to the grocery
Same
store.
here.
Really? Oh my goodness. That's really interesting. But other than that, and other than for feeling so much people's pain, and people that have been re-traumatized with all of the racist attacks and stuff like that, other than that, which is a lot, I have felt in my own world really empowered and fun. Like I am, because I'm an artist and I'm a puppeteer, I can create worlds all in my house, you know. So I was like, ooh, I get to be home. I get to create. I mean, I could just, you put me in a room with fabric or hardly anything, and I'll just make stuff and I'll make stories. And then I got to also learn all the how to put myself out online and put the stories online. And that has been a blast. So for me, there's a lot of good things about my experience during all of this time. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah, same here. I've been writing.
Oh
I wrote
wow.
I wrote a lot last year, but being confined into the house,
Yeah.
normally writers, they get their inspiration from going out. They from struggles, and I'm not gonna lie, I've my my writing has really been out of whack.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because mine's all just in here. So I don't need to be out. I don't know how to explain that, but I know that I've heard both. I've heard both. I've heard musicians that have just flourished being able to like hear their own stories, you know,
Hmm.
and I know other writers too that have flourished, and but I know that others have not. And so I think it's really interesting on how we pull our
Yeah,
energy. Mm-hmm.
but I've also coped, through writing during this pandemic. I'm not gonna lie, I did do a lot of
Mm-hmm.
writing also, but
Nice.
I've lost a lot of my mojo because I haven't gone out.
Yeah. Well,
I
maybe you
mean,
can soon. I mean, it seems like, doesn't it seem like things are changing? Not, I
yeah,
mean, supposedly it's not safe yet. So I'm not trying to promote everybody to get out there, but we're being told not to.
yeah,
But I mean,
people
I don't
are
know where I
being
live.
stupid. Um,
Yeah, where I live, it's already hopping in Atlanta. It's
the COVID cases.
no, I mean like the bars, the restaurants, the everything is just everybody. I think people are just tired of being home. You
Yeah,
know.
well, COVID cases in Ohio. I was there for my mom. I wanted to be there for my mom, and plus, I needed to get the hell out of my house.
Yeah, yeah.
um, so I thought, okay, two for two, just might as well go to my mom's. Don't need to worry about anyone. Just be there for my mom, and it
Mhm.
spiraled into us both having COVID, but not
Gosh.
as bad. My mom didn't. My mom said, Corey, you've had the least worse. You have had the least amount of COVID uh, symptoms ever. Like I see you walking around, I see you whatever, still acting a little bit like yourself, just tired and whatever.
Right, right, right. Well, that's
So,
good. Mm-hmm.
but sadly, Thanksgiving. But I'm thankful that during the holidays, that's when it happened. Is we got COVID during the holidays, during Thanksgiving. So Thanksgiving was like a food bank of deliveries for us because we had
Right.
uncles and aunts deliver foods to different
Wow.
houses. We were not together, and I'm glad for that. I'm actually have had issues with my family because some of them didn't answer their phones or whatever, and I'm just a little hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, some of my friends, I've lost contact with them. Um, so So I guess you're not into superheroes, right?
Oh, sure. I'm into superheroes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what have you been binge watching?
I mean, I really have been working and creating. I really
Okay.
have been so busy. Yeah, I'm just a worker. Oh, but I mean, that's not true. I've done some binge watching, of course, like the Queen's Gambit I did. I have not seen any new, like, I haven't binge watched any superhero stuff though lately. I haven't really done a lot of binge watching, to tell you the truth. But
Yeah,
it seems like a fun thing to do. Hmm.
I have. One of the things I liked about Disney Plus is that it has a whole bunch of like it's like a library for nerds. So
Yeah, like have you seen the puppet the Ed? It's a late night talk show done with puppets or Ned TV. Have you seen that show?
no.
The Jim Henson. Oh, okay. I think I thought it was cool.
My I have been binge watching just a lot of shows, but it's good for you that you have like a job that you can both work at home and stuff, not have to worry about whatever. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I'm really really lucky. And then I really have I mean, I'm super lucky. I spend too much time on the computer, probably like 9 hours a day at least on the computer, but I have a lot of interface with many different people. So I'm have a lot of contact with people and yeah, my income has actually stayed the same in some areas grown. And so I'm doing great. I don't, yeah, I'm a lucky one. I realize that.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm lucky too. I mean, I'm in a mental health facility benefit, basically in a semi-independent living group home. So I'm kind of like
Yeah.
independent living. I'm not
Yeah.
like where I have nurses taking care of me. I don't have any of that. We are very independent. So
Hmm.
I struggle through mental health and anxiety,
Yeah.
depression and anxiety, but I have grown a lot. So thankfully I have this podcast. I have my YouTube
Yeah.
channel, whatever, to help maybe give me keep afloat of having somewhat of a job, turning this into a podcasting because all the other jobs I've had weren't that great. As you can remember me telling you. Um,
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
so okay,
Yeah.
well, I guess
And Corey, I just want to say it's something I know it can be difficult to do, but it's important for everyone to remember that like we can make lemonade out of lemons. I know that's such a cliche saying, but I love how you're seeing life, that you're thinking, okay, well, here's what I do have, and here's what I can make out of it, and
yeah,
not thinking so much about the past and knowing that those other jobs didn't resonate with you. And you really can find stuff that does feel good to you, that does empower you. And then you're also somebody that wants to empower others. And so to me, it seems like you just have a whole garden of beautiful seeds that that are yours, that are your tools that you can grow. I mean, I just hear that from you. So I just wanted to say that I noticed that in you.
yeah,
And
thanks. One other question: what is your opinion on the vaccine going on?
yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I do have some friends that are saying it's dangerous. Um, I have, I have lived long enough on this earth where I have gone from, I don't know, really like living. I've lived off the grid. I mean, my sense of living off the grid, and I've lived out in Oregon where I've been really liberal minded and questioned so much about the government and authority. And I'm in a different place right now, and I see so many benefits that are
Mm-hmm.
happening from science, that I feel that I really do. I trust that the vaccine is fine and that it is good. And I think that we're also in a good place of questioning. I think people should question, the government. I think we should do all of that. So, but I do think that the vaccine, from everything that I have seen, I know so many people have taken the vaccine. I know, and so I really believe that it's safe. And I do think it's important. And so
Yeah, I
that's
took
my
the
thing.
Pfizer vaccine, which was twice. I
Oh,
have
good.
both of my shots,
Good for you. Yeah.
um, which was a real sigh of relief for me to get it, because I think if I wouldn't have got it, I would have not have been scared as I was right now. Or back last year, I did not get out of the house at all.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
that
right.
scared
I
to
totally
leave the
understand.
house.
Mhm.
And even though
Yeah.
it's important to wear a mask, I have asthma, and so it was hard for me to just breathe in and out, in and out.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I guess that's it. Unless there is
Okay.
anything I forgot or anything you want to talk
No,
about.
this is good. I mean,
Okay.
and I've got new programming coming up for preschoolers that I'm really excited about. So, and storytelling. So I'm happy to launch all that. And I've got a new campaign for Stories Alive starting tomorrow. And it's actually it's spring, it's our spring one, and it's Spring into Power. So I'm looking forward to helping children write their stories with maybe a superhero bent, or how, how at the part of the story at the end where all the problems are solved, how is that going to be powerful for the character? So lots of exciting stuff coming up.
Okay, cool. All right. Thanks
But
for
Corey,
talking to me.
thank you for having me, and I know we'll stay in touch. And I
Yeah,
applaud you,
good.
and I can't wait to see all your puppet stuff that you're creating.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you. I'll post your links down the description.
okay,
Once
super.
this video is uploaded and stuff. So, all right. Thank you
All right,
for letting me
bye.
talk to you. Bye.
Bye, wonderful Corey. Bye, everyone.